Hello and welcome to yet another edition of the CFL Fans in the USA podcast. Rick Crabb here as always, and also joining me on the line is the moderator of the CFL Fans in the USA Facebook group, Mr. Bill Hall. Bill, how was your weekend in football, my friend?
Oh, it was good. There's a lot of good football this weekend, and it's the second half of the CFL season, and we are getting ready. And a lot of stories working out then, and it's going to be a pretty good second half. What do you think of that?
Oh man, the games are great, and especially the last two. What I thought was going to be the game of the week, Edmonton and Montreal, wasn't. What turned out to be was your Tiger Cats in BC, and with the return of Mr. Rourke from Fantasy Island, man. So that was...
Oh, yeah. and also congratulations to your Toronto Argonauts for winning,
Yeah, even though I sacrificed a pick because I'm trying to anti-Danhausen them, because it seems like whenever I pick them, they lose. When I don't pick them, they win. So, Toronto, don't be upset if I pick against you every week. It's because secretly I'm pulling for you. So there you go. All right.
I feel like Brady doing the same thing.
Yeah, really. Well, before we get to our picks, Phil, a big story broke out over the week of an update. Looks like on expansion. Looks like Quebec City's going to get a team. Yeah, it looks like if they do get a team, they're supposed to be getting a CFL and a professional soccer team. I'm not sure if it's MLS or the Canadian Premier League or whatever, but they're supposed to be playing at Laval University, and then they're talking about building a new stadium for both. And I think it's more not just a stadium; it's like a big complex, though, right?
Yeah, it's the old Nordique arena. So basically, they're gonna tear down the Nordique arena and pretty much make a 25,000 seat stadium. So, and I don't know, they are trying to make it. I think they trying right now to make it sometimes within a couple of months to break the ground of that stadium, and they are doing it very fastly. Like they want to start this in 2028.
Nice.
Or
okay.
Or have a team in 2027 and play Laval for 1 year, but usually what I heard at first, and Laval was very adamant about not having a CFL game there, but now they say, only for 1 year. They might be talking about them might having a CFL team. Maybe next year or maybe 2 years.
Yeah, sounds like some loonies are talking there, Phil. I don't know, man.
And this is the news that we want to hear right now, and it's not about. There's a lot about everyone talk about rules and stuff like this. This is Quebec City is one of the big cities in Canada, and it's crazy they don't have a team for all these many years. And what great to have Quebec as a CFL team, and imagine them playing Montreal every year. That'll be up there with Toronto versus Hamilton. That's a blood war right there.
Regional rivalry, same province. Oh yeah, that's it. Yeah, I hope they get it. And plus, for the league itself to have 10 teams, an even number amount, that's that, and what we've been talking about in the other episodes with the new playoff format starting next year. I mean, it makes sense to have 8.
Now, if you think, hear me out on this, you think if they have success in Quebec, does this mean that Halifax will have a team too right after that?
It could mean that, sure. I mean, it could maybe. whatever holdup they have with money or public support or whatever, maybe they're thinking, well, hey, Quebec is making it work. Maybe we can too. I don't know, but I mean, I would like to see that. I'd like to see the CFL get more teams. I mean,
yeah,
I think part of the reason they don't get a lot of respect, I think, is because you only have 9 teams. You don't have 32 like the NFL. It's like, okay, but not. I mean, there's parity for the most part, even with Ottawa, and we'll get into that with the picks. But I mean,
absolutely,
they don't have any New York Jets or Arizona Cardinals in the CFL. You know what I mean? So it's like,
yeah, and the way everyone, I don't know, I can find this in my CFL Facebook page. Chris, Shriveler, yeah, the longtime CFL player. Used to play for Winnipeg Blue Bombers. He say how they do this is like 65% of each team is Canadian based players, and there's a handful of American players. This also, there's a lot of Canadian players out there that don't have a team. They have to go down in America. They play in IFL or semi-pro football, or they go overseas and play.
Right.
There's players out there, and I think they can totally do this, and we're rooting for it. And I feel like if any city who definitely deserve a team is Quebec alone. And I've been to Quebec, and it's like, if you don't want to put the money in Paris, go to Quebec. That's what I say.
I heard the whole province is nice. I mean, my uncle told me when I went to Toronto, he was like, you should have went to Montreal instead. But I mean, Montreal, I've heard some things about that, and I don't want, I'll talk to you about that privately. Let's put it that way. But he also said they have like a lot of good, like nice French style architecture and all there too. So that's probably.
So. Yeah, the longer you say, do not say Eric Lindros' name in Quebec, then you're happy. Yeah, so that's the thing. So it's a good motion. I really hope they are serious about it, and I really hope they will get that stadium going. And maybe down the road, maybe off season, we'll talk about if they have a Quebec team, what would be their nicknames,
Well, actually, the one report I think you sent to me, a guy said they had, I don't know if he came up with it or if the management group, he said somebody said they might be called like the Quebec Attack or Le Attack or something French-Canadian crazy.
I wouldn't like that. I really hope there'll be hockey improvement. I wouldn't mind them having the name Nordiques again.
Oh, yeah. They might have to get permission from the Colorado Avalanche, but other than that, yeah, that would be awesome. Especially if they can have like a similar logo with that fleur-de-lis and all that. That would be badass. I would probably buy some gear if they did that stuff.
Oh, yeah. I heard names like I'm going to butcher this. Sorry, Canada. It's called like the Calibans or something like that, or it's like the Calibans is kind of like French Canadian soldiers or something like that.
Right. Well,
yeah.
I mean, something local that makes sense, But,
but I guarantee you they're gonna have the St. Louis Battlehawk colors, blue and silver.
Right. Just don't. And those colors work as long as you don't have stupid helmets like the Buffalo Bills had this past weekend to go with that. Good Lord.
Man. And pretty much, and this is, and we're going to talk. We're talking about Buffalo right now. I want to say like this, like, shame on them for putting all that money and made a mid stadium, and coming from, and they should have no excuse. If you were to have a mid stadium like that, they should have no excuse to have Toronto Argonauts play there before all this, because that stadium is, I heard, was pretty atrocious. So that's what I'm saying.
Right, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Well, before we get to the picks, though, I want to talk about something I found from a UFL group. Now, this is not a legitimate report. This is just one fan and his imagination and his AI and all that or whatever. For those, there are some folks here who follow the United Football League. I know we don't talk a whole lot about them. We try not to talk a whole about them, but last week they ceased operations with both the Birmingham Stallions and the Houston Gamblers. And we talked about some of those markets before, Phil, when they had the U.S. expansion in the 90s, about how the southern markets, they have issues with heat and competing with college teams and all kinds of stuff. And yeah, this man, he posts, I'm posting it on here, and folks, if you're just listening just as like a podcast, I'm going to read, I have this flyer that this fan made up, and I'm going to read it off real quick. And I'm not going to read all of it because he's got a lot of things. It says, new league, new chapter, Birmingham Stallions to CFL. And he has a picture of like a Birmingham Stallion logo, and like, I don't know if it's, I'm not sure what city that is. I'm guessing it's Birmingham, but it's got a Canadian flag. And it says, has them going from the UFL to CFL. And here's the argument he made. He said, three-time UFL champions, so it's a winning culture. Proven brand, okay, yeah, well, all right, fine. Passionate fan base, yeah, passionate fan base that stays home and what flips between their games and NASCAR and don't go to the damn games. All right, whatever. New home with a Maple Leaf, says new opportunities, new history. Okay, yeah, that probably would be. Same mission, win, represent, inspire. Okay. Now, here's what he says, how it would work logistically. He said, league expansion and realignment. All right. And has a little paragraph. I'm just going to read the headlines because I'm not going to read what he has underneath of it. He says, it's a new market entry. Well, yeah, it'd be true, but you'd be like, I don't know, thousands of miles from, like, the nearest team. I mean, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, where you and I live, we're about a 10-mile drive from each of the closest teams. Probably your Tiger Cats, I think, are the closest for both of us.
Yeah.
All right. Stadium requirements, and he said protective would meet the CFL requirements. I don't know about that. That's why they're leaving, because they don't like their damn stadium. It looked like a nice stadium, but it's just that it's
a very nice stadium.
It's just like wide open bowl, and you know there's no shade or whatever. Roster and player transition, okay, and then adjustments to the CFL roster. They have to go through the roster change, the quota like you just mentioned earlier. Travel and schedule, broadcast and partnerships, okay. And new rivalry and new era, okay. And then let's see, and it has key requirements. They would need a CFL board approval. Don't see that happening. Ownership group alignment. Don't see that. Stadium upgrade plan. Okay, maybe. Not for that league. 5-year financial commitment. Community and government support. Player association buy-in. No, okay. Now this is what got me going on this, Bill. As Peter Griffin would say, what really grinds my gears. So this fan, he drew up a map of the United States, and then he drew up the logos of his proposed divisions with the Stallions joining. He has, okay, I'm looking at this. He's got Ottawa, Hamilton, Toronto, and Winnipeg in the East. In the West, he has BC, Saskatchewan, Calgary, and Edmonton. I don't see any Alouettes. And it looks like you're making them the 9th team, and you're replacing the Alouettes, a team that has been a city that's been in the CFL up and on for decades, has several Grey Cups, is in Canada, and you're going to replace the Birmingham Stallions, where you had teams who couldn't even draw when they were offering $10 tickets in the USFL. You give me a break, will you?
And I'm gonna put my 5 cents to this. Like, this guy is a bona fide idiot. This guy's a buffoon. Like, what are you talking about? You're mad because your Birmingham Stallions don't have a UFL team. You don't get mad that your fans did not show up to go to the games. And I get it. You was dominant for the last 5 years there. I get it. But the fact is, your fans did not show up.
Right.
So if you don't get mad at the people of the UFL or Canada or wherever it is. Get mad at your own people. Look yourself in the mirror. They'll literally giving those tickets out for free, and no one showed up. And the fact that you're trying to be in the CFL, no. I guess you don't. I guess you wasn't alive when they was the Barracudas. And let me tell you something. No one showed up.
Nope.
And guess what? I guess we moving in 100 yards instead of 120 yards. But if you look at your field, it's not CFL adequatable. You know.
No.
I'm sorry, I can't even say that word. But the fact is, you need to learn the facts before you say something like that. Then you forget about the Montreal Alouettes, a glorified team, one of the best teams in the CFL, sell out crowds every day, even though it's only an 18 or 19,000 seat stadium, but they sell out every time they play. A rowdy fans with a great quarterback and a great receiver, and you forget about them. You don't know anything about CFL football. You barely know UFL football. And basically, you're just mad that your team don't have a team. Why don't you just go up there and root for St. Louis Battlehawks or the new Oklahoma City team? It doesn't matter. If you wanted to root for CFL, join the Facebook page and pick its 9 teams up in Canada to root for. Don't push American football cities that obviously failed. Like, NFL was trying to have a team in Birmingham too, but guess what? No one showed up. You can watch it on TV. Everyone can watch it on TV, but none of y'all lazy asses down in Alabama want to go to the game. Y'all like to go to NASCAR and roll tide. You know?
Right. I mean, they complain about the heat, but they'll sit in Talladega and watch, like 40 cars make a left turn 500 times, okay? Yeah. They don't, and they complain about, they have games on Mother's Day. Yeah, so do Major League Baseball, okay? They have games on Easter. So do the UFL. I actually went to a Defenders game on Easter Sunday. So, come on.
It's ridiculous. They will pay $300 to go see Alabama play the Sister of the Poor instead of paying $10 to see a 3-time UFL championship. And I'm not bad-mouthing the players who play for the Stallions. Anything, I feel bad for the Stallions. They bust their ass the last 4 or 5 years, and yet the city did not have their back. And that's a damn shame. And they cried last season. Ooh, let's keep the Stallions here. Let's keep the Stallions in Birmingham. They gave you one more chance, and you freaking blew it. So,
right.
I don't feel sorry for you. I don't feel sorry for your team. And it's a damn shame. All that USFL history of Birmingham Stallions, you could have kept it going, but you sit there and you just let it waste. And that's the reason why Alabama ain't no place for professional football.
Nope.
And if you want to go back to history, look at the Barracudas. And the Barracudas, they had a good team too. And they had a playoff team too. But guess what? No one showed up.
Well, the Barracudas' defense, though, their season ran against the beginning of the NCAA and the NFL. So that I can give them a little bit of a pass. I will give Birmingham a pass on one other thing too. They actually found out that they actually let the Stallions play there for free. They let the UFL play there for free. Well, unlike Detroit, that paid charged like $500,000 a day for the Michigan Panthers to play there. But
and I give them that for that. It's just the fans I just don't understand. Like they cry about it and they never showed up, and that's the biggest hypocritic of that fans is, and
right.
Him trying to lobby for a CFL team is insane. What you need is lobby an IFL team. instead of CFL team. Because like this is a hypothetical. Let's just think about it. If they go to the CFL and Birmingham is the 10th team or 11th team, blah blah blah. 9 out of 10, they'll probably have a second American team, and guess what? The lack of showing the people that can totally the lack of money of the revenues of Birmingham could definitely destroy this league, or maybe fold the league itself.
Yeah.
And that's the last thing we want.
True. And I mean, the reason we got American teams, and we talked about that, is because the CFL was losing money. They thought bringing the teams to America would be a cash grab for them, and other than Baltimore, it really wasn't. So.
Yeah. And that's the thing is, I love the thinking out of the box of the guy, and yeah, sorry I got a little hot there, but honestly, I just think it's pure lunacy. Basically, a team that had so many chances to fill up that stadium, and they didn't have it. And I wish I was say I was a general manager of the Stallion, I would have all the games night games. So people.
I think that's what the fans wanted too, though, because in the USF when their first couple years in the USFL, it seemed like all their games were like Saturday nights, and even when they had like every team playing in that city, they would give the Stallions usually the Saturday nights, and then they'd have like, I don't know, New Orleans Breakers and the Philadelphia Stars play like in a hot afternoon or whatever. But
here's a fun story, and speaking of hot thing, I remember one of my next door neighbors, big time Silver fan, as a kid, and he went to almost every game, including road games. I remember back in like '88, Steelers had to play in Arizona.
Oof.
And you remember like the Sun Devil Stadium?
I heard about that. Yeah, it was like Yeah, I heard that it was a pretty hot place to play. Literally hot.
Yeah. He said like this, it's like so hot. I remember he said it's so hot out there, the devil himself was selling me hot dogs. That's who he was. And I also had the same story about that because I knew a couple people played for the Pittsburgh Maulers during the COVID time, and it was a hot summer there, and it's like, this is insane, and it's like I don't know how they can do this during the day, like this, that's bad. It's like some of that stuff is dangerous, so
right.
Yeah, right. Even the Montreal game the other day, they say it was pretty brutally hot. That's what he said.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, it surprised me. I mean, even Saskatchewan's has had some hot weather games, and with the Rough Riders, they're on turf. I remember watching, I forget who they were playing, but they showed like the little thermometer on the sidelines, and it had both Celsius and Fahrenheit, and Fahrenheit, it was 120 degrees on the ground. So, those poor guys, man. I mean, they were whatever they're getting paid, they earned it. I think that day.
Oh yeah, definitely, and that's a lot of people. Like people give shout outs to those people who play spring football, and people say, "Oh, they had to deal with the elements. They had to deal with the heat, and sometimes it's better to play in the cold than the heat." And
True.
Trust me. I used to play basketball outside for like basketball camp. It's brutal in June or July.
Right.
And yeah. All good, so.
Yeah. Okay, well, Birmingham Stallions, rest in peace. I don't know. Honestly, I mean, as much as I was upset, I really don't, I mean, I know there are some hardcore fans, I feel bad for them. Don't like to see any city lose a team, but yeah, if you don't show up, you deserve what you get. Now, yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, and Yeah, I feel bad for the fans that actually really showed up, and the fans that, yeah, I feel bad for the people who actually really showed up to those games, and it sucks to lose a team, and and the notion of and I really got fired up because the guy was talking about the Montreal Alouettes, and you forget about them.
Yeah.
Like, they had to go through hell to get back their team, and yeah, during the mid-'80s, yeah, no one didn't show up, but then they wanted to have teams in Montreal. They try everything possible to get Montreal team. They have 4-down football in Montreal.
Yep.
And then with the blessing of the Baltimore Stallions, ironically, the Stallions, the Montreal Alouettes was born.
Yep.
And ever since then, Montreal is rolling, and that's a beautiful thing.
Yep, and it seemed to be definitely rolling this year. All right, Bill. Let's start reviewing Week 11. Have another little rant coming, and it's related to the quarterback of one of the teams in the first game we're talking about. I want to shout out to the other moderators who I have not met of our Facebook group. There was one gentleman, and he called me out at first. In this particular thread, he was somebody came up with a question and said, how come fans of other teams don't like Kelly? And I just made a comment of like, okay, well, maybe it's just because it seems like he whines for calls and he trash talks and, just does a lot of Bradyisms, okay? And then I'm not even going to mention the person's name, but basically he said, oh, but you're okay with him being a sexual predator, whatever, interesting take. And then and I'll be honest, Bill, I didn't know anything about the Kelly investigation until I read it after that. And then other people had sent them and said, okay, look, this has been, they had investigations with the league and everything, and then they had actual quotes from legitimate news outlets talking about what had happened in the settlement and all that kind of stuff. And then the guy said, yeah, but he's still a sexual predator, and he just would not let go. And then finally, I think somebody just deleted him or blocked him or whatever. So, I want to say, our group, I want to commend us for, we have positive, if not welcoming, if not knowledgeable fans. I think most cases it's a combination of all three. And there are other groups that you and I belong to that we like, but they're a little more on the trollish chirpy side. So, but we want to keep it respectful and keep it a good place to talk about football.
And that's the thing what we do on our page. We will talk about the stuff and we'll give people their 5 cents, but when they get mean-spirited, you get automatically banned. And like, there's a guy used to be a big fan of our page, and then I had to say, man, you can't be bad-mouthing other people.
Right.
And it was it's just like, I can't stand those kind of people trolling and being bullied. I had to ban someone, and I'm not giving out names, because I ain't gonna lie, I don't have the greatest grammar in the world. I stumble when I talk on this damn podcast, but the fact is, he had to be grammar police.
Yeah.
And I let it go once, I let it go twice, and then it just set me off the wrong way without saying that. I just banned him. And we don't like that. We don't. People come in different ways of life, but guess what? We all here for a reason. We all talk about football, and we're celebrating this great league through American point of view and Canadian point of view, or anywhere around the world point of view. And that's what it is. It's a safe place.
Right, exactly. Well said.
Thank you.
All right. Well, looking at this game between Calgary and Toronto, I could think of other reasons to be upset with Kelly and the Argonauts. solid crowd, but I'm still kind of disappointed that he didn't sell it out since he hadn't had a game since August, and they even added like some cool club seats in the one end zone and all that. And the other thing that people might be upset, Toronto fans, Kelly. What? Kelly, 4 interceptions really, dude. You know, I mean, and then I think Hicks had a fumble early in the game too. It's like Toronto was lucky to win that game, man. You can't be coughing up the ball like that.
And the other thing is, and before I talk about that, if you can, and this is me as a fat man, if you have an all-you-can-eat section, please provide the food for the people who love the food.
Right.
So do not run out or do not have lack of people selling your food. I heard people pay for all-you-can-eat section and then I even got food. So
yeah, I heard they got like little bags of popcorn. That was about it. It's like, man, next Argos game I'm going to, I'm going to hit up either Montana's or Swiss Chalet and get those all-you-can-eat red things, man. Holy hell.
Oh, man. If anyone got the TSN channels, like, all that food stuff is, like, insane. Like I'm like, America don't know what they're doing. They got hot dogs and Subways. They got Montana's. They got oh, man. They got the New York fries. I'm like, jeez.
Harvey's. Like, dude. Harvey's, a burger place. I bet I had. That looks amazing too.
Like I literally wrote this down for our next year getaway to Toronto and Hamilton. So I'm going to hit all those places up, and I can't wait for that.
Oh yeah.
For the game situation, like you say, Toronto did everything. To lose that game, but they found a way by great defense and special teams. And the reason why I say that, and the reason I say this, because that defense shut down. It basically what I say, all you gotta do is pressure Adams, and he'll fold. And that's exactly what they did. Vernon Adams, he had a sweet little touchdown he did. He had only 12 for 24 for 159 yards and 2 interceptions. But the last interception was like Hail Mary, but still.
Right, yeah, it was the end of the game, right, yeah.
They shut down Philpott, Alford, Eric Brooks, and pretty much that's what it is. Dietrich Bills was solid. He had 79 yards, but all in all, that defense set the tone of that game. And if it wasn't like that defense, who knows? Calvin might would have blew him out with all those turnovers. But that was a very night and day performance after the last time they played in Calgary, when the defense looked like the Panama Canal. So
well, I mean, yeah, it was good situational defense. Calgary still scored 30 on them, but yeah, it wasn't 58 points like last time. But one thing we've said about Calgary too, Bill, it's like seems like even though they're like the highest scoring team in the league, they're among the lowest in the first half for some reason. And it's like we said that when they played your Tiger Cats, it's like you gotta like shut them down early to give them a chance. I think that's what helped Toronto out. So.
And in the first half it was pretty good because it was like 17 to 19 in the half, and it was back and forth with this stuff. But like I say, Kelly was throwing interceptions left and right, but in the fourth quarter he emerged the typical Kelly fashion, hero ball. It's gonna bite him in the ass one time down the road, but it's a very good win, and this is what we're going to talk about. This is going to be the theme of the second half. Everyone trying to get their second win, and I feel like Toronto and a couple other teams getting their second win and trying to make that playoff push. And no matter how they do it, it was a good win for that team. And basically, it's not good for Hamilton because they keep on winning, but it's really good for Toronto for them. But
right.
Calgary, they're gonna need reeling a little bit, and that was a bad loss. And now you have to worry about BC this Thursday. That's going to be a hell of a game. We'll talk about that later.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, that West Division's starting to get tough, even tougher.
Oh, yeah.
But
big time.
But as far as our picks, I sacrificed a pick for the love of my team, and you benefited from that. So you picked Toronto to win. I went with Calgary, and you got the win for that one. So.
Yeah, and how about this? This is a BS right there. That they got a home. They finally got a home game, and then next week they had to go to Edmonton.
Ooh, yeah.
Talking about kicking the nuts. Like, all right, you've been on the road for the last 2 months. You got your home game, and guess what? Next week you're back on the road. You know?
Right. Yeah, I mean, it's like the Argonauts were once owned by John Candy. You would think they'd been owned by Rodney Dangerfield and getting no respect, man. A tough crowd.
I tell you what, and I shout out for Toronto for shout out Toronto for battling. Like their new name is Mad Max because they're a bunch of road warriors, and I got $1 million idea for that right there. The road warriors. That's what I'll call them. You know.
Well, no, not those road warriors. Yeah. It'd be like Hawk and Animal, or Mad Max. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, come out and dodge challengers or whatever.
Yeah, and Chad Kelly's Tina Turner. You know.
Oh yeah. We don't need another round of hero ball. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Oh man.
Well, then the next game, Ottawa and Saskatchewan. Beauty and the Beast right there, man. Oh my God.
Yeah. And the crazy thing, Ottawa played good. That's the thing. It's just the fourth quarter, they just oh, we did it, and then suddenly,
yeah.
Like, I don't know what happened there, and this is. I got a buddy named Paul Bilek. He told me about this. We talked about this on Saturday. He talking about Ottawa situation, about coaches and stuff like that. And he said it like this perfectly. And this is, and I want to give him a shout on that real quick on this. He say, and I'm gonna paraphrase it. He say the didn't win experience isn't working at all. But he said, I know a coach can definitely know the Canadian way and CFL way, and he's doing okay in Montreal as an offensive coordinator. And he's also one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. And I think he deserves a head coach position. And he was talking about making a play for Anthony Calvillo as their head coach. And I thought about this, and Calvillo would make a perfect guy to be the next coach of Ottawa Red Black. The way his offense against Montreal, as a Montreal offensive coordinator, he just making David Alexander look like a unstoppable player. And this guy be a good coach for Ottawa. Man, shout out for Paul to think about that. But the game itself, they battled. Ottawa did everything possible to win this game, but it's crazy. I don't know what this. I don't know if you watch this game.
Yeah.
I didn't expect Lewis Ward to be that bad. I thought, well, who was it? Lewis Ward was. I guess Lewis Ward was an ex-player, but this guy could not kick a freaking extra point. It was insane. It was far left, far right. It was not even close.
Well, speaking of kicks, I wanted to ask you about that. That on one play, it was a weird penalty. It was when it looked like Saskatchewan blocked it and ran it in for a touchdown, but then they called a penalty on roughing the snapper. I never heard of such a thing.
So, yeah. So it's pretty much they have this in the NFL. So you cannot touch the center. You can't. I guess you cannot touch the long snapper. Like, I guess that's the rule of that, which is stupid. But
right.
I guess he nailed the long snapper, and that's what happened. I'm like,
I'm gonna have to send you off the air this one reaction video to that game. I mentioned this YouTuber on the air before. Shout out to Brooklyn Rowe. This guy is hilarious. He'll watch games. He'll be chugging a bottle of Crown Royal, even trying to get them for a sponsorship. But he was going off about that penalty, and then something else in this game I'll tell you about. But he's hilarious. So folks, he's funny as anything. He's definitely, it's like you want a humorous take on, on reaction highlight videos. Definitely watch this guy. But yeah, he was going off about that.
And like I say, and that's what it is. And let me tell you about Saskatchewan side. I don't know how they did this. They did not have no players at all. Like, Tavon Campbell's going to be out for 6 weeks. Amelius and Schaefer Baker are going to be out for 6 weeks. AJ Olette going to be out for 6 weeks. And so, like, this whole team is depleted. And basically, Trevor Harris just find a way to win it. And guess what? I'm going to call Tommy Stevens the working man. And Tommy Stevens is starting to become my favorite.
He was a beast, man. I mean, it's fitting he wore green. He looked like the damn Hulk. I mean, when they called him on those short yardage plays, it's like, forget it. You're not going to stop him.
Yeah, and the crazy thing is, and the funny they talk about TSN, like the Milsteagel record. I'm telling you this right now, Tommy Stevens is going to break that record this year. You know? And I'm rooting for that. It's Keyshawn Johnson looks so freaking good.
Yeah.
That game, it's not even funny. And Johnny Johnson, the third, was looking so good in the game. Like, Trevor Harris is 40-plus years old, and he drew 401 and 2 tutties. And it's just like, the game is effortless for him, man. It's just insane. And, like, this team, they did everything. This team was, it was nervous for this team at first, because Ottawa was hanging with them. But Trevor Harris is showing, he tell my father time to hold on for a couple of years. I'm still playing. And, yeah, that's pretty much. And Tommy Stevens is going to be a fresh breath of air. I feel like every time it'll be second inches or third inches, he's going to get it. So,
right.
If they can, like, say for the couple of games down the road, if they can, like, weather the storm for all these injuries and no one else get hurt anymore, I wouldn't be surprised if Saskatchewan win the freaking West again. So
they're hanging in there, and it's like they're still rolling. Where it looks like our friends in Edmonton are starting to slip a little bit, but it's still playing football there. But I mean, it's
and that's what it is. And sorry, Ottawa, for this, but then again, who knows? Like, I'm rooting for them to win a game, and I really do. And it's just, I feel like the players are really trying to do everything possible to win these games. I don't know what's going on. I think it's the management. I think it's also the coaching. And I just, I'm sorry. I think even though Dinwiddie's a good coach, but Dinwiddie's not a good fit for them. And I hate to say it like that. And too many pieces on that team. They had chances to get good quarterback. They had a chance to get quarterback. And then they had a chance Drew Brown to be your starting quarterback, but you got rid of him.
Right.
Yeah,
they gave him the Salvation Army suit and all that. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the cheap. You gave away him like a nice 3-piece suit of Salvation Army. And this team, Evan Hardy's good, and Justin Hardy, but now the toxic situation in the locker room now does. Gino Lewis was mouthing off. They got rid of him. You don't got no kickers. You don't. The defense. They just. I forgot who they released. They released another veteran. Actually, today they released Demario Houston and Amari Henderson. And Demario Houston is. He's a two-time All-Star CFL player, DB, and it's turmoil. And oh yeah, and also for Saskatchewan, before I start the next game, shout out for you calling out that guy who played for the DC Defender.
Oh yeah.
What's his name again? I forgot his name.
You have to look in the within the previous video. Yeah, he had a hell of a game though. Yeah, I know you're talking.
This guy is an animal, and I see him rock someone in this game. I'm like, oh, and I was like, oh, this is your guy. He's like, yeah. I'm gonna find him right now, guys. Sorry about that. So much. Derek Robinson. Yeah, that's his name.
Yes.
Derek Robinson. He only had one sack and one tackle, but every time he hits someone, and I saw all his old videos from DC Defenders and stuff like that. When he hit someone, he hit someone the next week, and
he was a headhunter. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that's a hell of a pickup y'all did, and I'm not saying he's going to be a star there, but he brings that nastiness to it, and I guarantee Coach Mace loved that kind of guy. So,
oh, sure.
Yeah, shout out for him. Shout out for you calling that dude out. Yeah, that was a good.
Appreciate that. Well, shout out to both of us for picking that game. And look, it was low hanging fruit. I think everybody in the U.S., Canada, and anywhere else that watches CFL were picking the Rough Riders that week. So but we both got a win for that one. So.
Oh yeah.
Ding ding. Yep. The next game, well, a lot of people thought, and probably still do, thought this would be a Grey Cup preview. We had Edmonton at Montreal, and at first it looked like it was going to be another instant classic like Edmonton and Saskatchewan was earlier in the year, but Montreal, man, they're tough. They're special. Is like they just pulled out at the end like they do with everybody else, man. Man, that team's on a roll.
Yeah, and it's crazy how like that second half they just put their will on Edmonton, and I feel like Edmonton was playing good. It was playing good defense in the beginning. Like they was playing good in the first half. It was going back and forth, and Terrell Ford is a freaking animal for Edmonton. Just to let you know, he made some two sick interceptions in the first half.
Oh yeah.
But Davis Alexander is, and you can say you want how cocky he is and how loudmouth he is in the game, but this guy has the will to win, and this guy is carrying his team, and like his bravado is like oozing this whole team. Like,
he can back it up.
Yeah, and this team is along like they got the best running back, they got the best player in the game, and they got the best 1, 2, 3 wide receiver trio in the league. And Tyson Philpott, I say what you want. I'm telling you this. I'm telling you what, CFL. Go out and see Tyson and Jalen Philpott play before they go to the NFL next year, because they're going. As simple as that. And the NFL, if you don't get this guy to try out, there's something wrong with you. But Tyson Philpott, and I hate to say it, I'm not being a homer like this. As of right now, Tyson Philpott, if you put him on any team in the NFL, he could be your wide receiver too, instantaneously. This guy is probably he's on pace to get 2,000 yards a receiver, and he's catching everything. He's catching touchdowns. He's just it's so freaking amazing how this guy plays. It's like, wow.
And they're highlight catches too. They're not just wide open. I mean, he's doing like Odell Beckham stuff in some games, man.
And combative catches. And this defense is a show. Tyrese Beverett made a great, one of the best cornerbacks in the. They got the best cornerback in the CFL, and he made a sweet interception. It was like this team is dangerous. And I remember I did a little piece about like season and review and all that stuff. This team, and I put this in an quote. I wish I could find this. This team is one of the most dangerous teams in the CFL, and I think they're the clear favorites to go to the CFL at the Grey Cup. And I'm still sticking by. I should have picked them, but I went with Hamilton, obviously.
Well, and to your defense, I mean, with Bo Levi Mitchell, he had a good shot, and it seemed like they were trying to give him some missing pieces to help him out and help the team out. So, all on paper, off season, it looked like they were making all the right trades and stuff. It's just injuries have bit them. But
and we go to the Edmonton side of this, like they in the first half they looked great, but it's just like the BC game in Kelowna. First half they looked good against the team, but once they did their adjustments, they had no answer about it, and that's the problem with Edmonton. And they're a team that like to be ahead in the second half instead of the first half.
And they're used to being ahead, but Montreal, like you said, they made good defensive adjustments. That's what good teams with good defenses do. So
and and I know they play two of the best teams in the CFL, and they came out with 1 and 2, and there's nothing to scoff about it, but they're in a point right now that they need to look at themselves like, all right, this next game, we have to win this game. We played Montreal. We played Saskatchewan. Let's get back to basics, because stuff like this, like two losing on a losing streak, it make you like think like, oh, can we win a game? And it's gonna be a tough game next week because they're gonna play Toronto, and Toronto's on the cloud 9. So it's gonna be a hell of a game. And like I said, Edmonton fans, please show up the freaking game. And like I'll tell the Edmonton fans like this: like, you see what a home field advantage crowd sound like? Watch the Montreal Alouettes on Saturday. That crowd was rocking. Crowd was saying "Sweet Caroline." The crowd was saying "Ole, ole, ole." It was something that I wish I kind of wish this game was like on nighttime on CBS Sports Network, because they was having a hell of a good time there, and that's how it should be. And the crowd was rocking, and Edmonton, you can do that too if you can keep on winning. Same in Toronto.
Right. Oh yeah, definitely. I think Edmonton, the fans will respond. And Toronto, one thing I forgot to mention about that game, which I really liked, they did the thing where you've probably seen it like in Super Bowls and stuff, where they had this thing to rally the team in the fourth quarter. I guess they gave fans like those light up bracelet things or whatever, and they synced it to music. It looked amazing. I'd like to see that with every team. I mean, I think that. Well, I've seen it here in Baltimore with the Ravens with like Sunday night games. They've done stuff like that, but yeah, that was really cool to see. But
I like I don't know, this is a new thing that I like, the new touchdown thing, where they turn the lights off and on, lights off and on.
Yeah.
No. Like I say, Montreal is the top team, and they got a bye this week, so they're only gonna get more healthier. Their best defenseman played with Edmonton, Quentin Arcou, and Quentin Arcou is gonna be ready to go after bye. So I try to think where their next game. They're off the bye. I'm looking right now. Ottawa. So you're just waiting for August 28th. They got to go at Winnipeg, so
Right.
that's gonna be something else. So
Yeah, that might be a good little stretch for them too, as if they weren't already rolling. But yeah. Well, then we go to the final game, which turned out to be the game of the week. Your Tiger Cats at BC, and the return from Fantasy Island, Mr. Nathan Rourke. So I don't know. What are your feelings on that game, bro?
So a lot of people, let's say, I want to get mad about another Hamilton loss and stuff like this. I'm not. I really commend the Hamilton Tiger Cats with their Frosty, to call him Frosty the Snowman, Harrison Frost.
Yeah.
Sometimes I think Glenn Suter keep on calling him Harrison Ford the whole time.
Right, yeah. Yeah, he's like Indiana Jones playing for the Colts, but anyway.
You know? And Harrison Frost, Frosty the Snowman, I seen the talent in him, and the way they could have won this game, and that's the thing. My problem is that it wasn't Frost's fault, but I don't understand why Milanovich's not trying to tell him, hey, throw the ball to Lawler or Smith. And they almost beat BC without throwing too much to Lawler and Smith.
And well, even though Rourke did have his moments, I thought they kind of contained Rourke too. So I mean, their defense looks good, man. They just need to get some momentum on offense, and they might have found it with Frosty the Throw Man. So
he was billing. I was singing the song "Frosty the Throw Man" on my Facebook page. I was so happy for it.
Yeah, there you go. Christmas in Hamilton there.
Yeah. And Nathan Rourke's side of it, this is like, I feel like, and I can't believe it, not people will really say this, I feel like no one lost this game. I just feel like there's an upside for both of these teams future-wise. And I feel like Nathan Rourke, it took him a quarter and a half to get back. And besides that, it was all his other guys came back from injury too. Butler came back, McMinnis come back, Katoy came back, Keon Hatcher came back, and it's crazy because McMinnis had an 85-yard touchdown, but McMinnis and Hatcher had a bad game. They was dropping balls left and right, and that's the problem. These top receivers of both of these teams, they was dropping the balls, and they wasn't helping out their quarterback.
Right.
The BC Lions. This is the game. This is the game that can get back into the mix, and this is. I feel like this team, Nathan Rourke, he was. They didn't even score the touchdown, but the way they drove down that field for that field goal, it took almost 3 minutes to get down to the field to kick that field goal. I don't know what will happen in overtime. I can't get mad at Legejo. He was trying to make a 59-yard field goal, and that's pretty tough in the CFL. But it was basically Rourke and Frost, they put on a show, and I feel okay with Frost being our quarterback until, I don't know, if Bo Levi might come back in the playoffs or not, who knows, but...
Yeah, I agree with you. I think it gave both teams hope and kind of put them back into a groove, especially BC, but I think it does give your Tiger Cats some hope, too, so, especially when we get...
And also James Butler. And I feel like James Butler is just still dealing with the injuries and stuff. But Sander Holback, or whatever his name is.
Horvath, you mean?
Yeah, Horvath, yeah. He's a tank. I call him a running cake. You know?
Oh yeah.
And he's like I feel like he's RB1, and I feel like that's the theme of those kind of running backs this year is guys like that, and Big Stevens there in Saskatchewan. They're goal line guys, and I think Horvath is the goal line quarterback.
I was gonna say if they don't use him for that, they should. He's and I'm beginning to like that play with the CFL though. I mean, it's like for one, a lot of teams they just use the backup quarterback, but here it's like they're using like big all-star like fullbacks, man. I mean, it's fun to see. I like that.
Here's my question with Hamilton and Milanovic. Okay, you know that Trey Ford cannot throw the ball, but he also is a good athlete. Like, why not they try to make him like a running back or a goal line quarterback or whatnot? Because that's too much good talent to him be on the bench. You know what I mean? Like,
maybe it's like a pay thing. I mean, they're paying him for a quarterback, and it's like I don't know if it's like a sassy. Yeah, but yeah, you're right. If he's got a good hands and good speed, maybe he can't throw the ball or whatever, but and plus you're going to need a backup quarterback if Frosty the Throw Man is your guy, so if Bo Levi doesn't come back, he's got to come back and do something, or him or DeSardo or whatever, but
it's remind me like the Steelers in the mid-90s, like no offense to Cordell Stewart, like he was better at slash instead of quarterback.
Right.
And I feel like you can use him and utilize him in that, and like basically, it's all hands on deck. You lost 3 straight, and now you got Saskatchewan coming in town, and shout out my man. He's from Columbus. He went to my Grey Cup party. He's just making the trip to go to that game on Saturday night. So he told me he's excited for that. So
good. Yeah.
So a lot of people I know is going to that game.
Okay, good.
Jello. but what's the face? Like I say, the defense and people. BC defense is actually like a pretty damn good defense too. Like with Davis Betts and Darnell Sankey and Jackson Finley and all that guys. They know how to play the game, and big interception. I forgot who got the big interception. Someone had the big interception in that game. It changed the game right there. Oh yeah, Dontel Williams, the linebacker, he made the big interception. One was that went over Lawler's head, and it was caught for a touchdown to end. So we, like I say, it's a good game, and they both got challenging games next week.
That they do. Okay, well, I forgot to mention who we picked in the Edmonton-Montreal game. We both went with Montreal and both got a win for that. Ding, ding. But then last week we split with Hamilton and BC, and that game could have went either way. You went with your Tiger Cats, and I went with the Lions. And so what that makes us now, Phil, for the year, we redeemed ourselves for the week. That's a good thing. We went from 1-3 to 3-1 each. But the bad news is we tied again, and we're both at 18-16. At least we have winning records again, though. So
there it is. We're back in it. And the crazy thing is, I picked up a point on Brandy. So yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. So
no highlight song for her, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's gonna be good. I can't wait.
Well, I can't wait for this next slate of games. Let's break into that, man. So, starting with the first one, BC at Calgary. Ooh, boy. All right, where can we watch that, and what do you think of that game?
Yeah, I'm trying to find that right now, and that's going to be a hell of a game, and I think that's going to be a tough game for both of them. Like, this is like a must. This is what. So I'm going to make my rant while I'm trying to find how to watch this. I think this is the type of game that you should not have a 9 to 18 playoff, because this is the game right here that everyone try to battle here. I'm sorry, week 11. All right, I found it. It's 9 o'clock TSN. 9 o'clock TSN RDS2 in Canada, and all right, it's on CBS Sports Network on in the States, so people can watch this. And I know people will say, "Oh, Phil, you're gonna watch the Steelers game?" Hell no, I'm gonna watch this game. You know,
interesting. Okay.
So BC got to keep this momentum going, and I'm gonna side like this. This is like it's like escalator. One's going up and one's going down. The West is so tight, it's not even funny. I kind of wish all these teams make the playoffs. You know,
right?
I think they need to look at the Toronto game, how to pressure Vernon Adams. It's crazy. They brought back Alford, and he only had one catch. Find a way to pressure. Let Nathan Rourke be Nathan Rourke. You got all your horses back. Be Nathan Rourke. Be Captain Canada. Be all you can be. But I think Calgary at home, they're a pretty tough team at home. And God, this is so tough to pick. I'm going BC.
Going BC? Okay. That game could go either way. One thing I want to say about Calgary, I mean, they pressured Kelly, although Kelly, I don't know, it could be self-inflicted bullets with him, but one thing Calgary has to do, if they are able to force turnovers against Rourke, they got to cash in on them. They got to score touchdowns, and they got to, like, light them up early. You know, that's one thing that they failed to do against Toronto. I don't think they capitalized on their own loose turnovers nearly as much as they should.
They were settling for field goals, and that was the problem.
Right.
And shout for that kicker, McHaney. I say that wrong, right? But he was latched on in field goals, but he needs to score touchdowns. You know, so I think it'll be a very close game. I think this will be a very good game, and
it could be a good mean division game too. You know, but
yeah.
I mean, you could go either way with this, but trying to win with our picks, man. So we're separate. I will go with Calgary, but it would not surprise me if BC won it either.
Yeah.
So you know.
Yeah, definitely. And next game, we got our beloved Bad News Bears, Ottawa Red Blacks, going to go at Winnipeg, and that game will be on 8:30 TSN RDS2 in Canada and CFL Plus in the States, and that's who you can watch that on your laptop and phones or Xbox or PlayStation where you want to. Winnipeg got some great news. Full practice, Zach Collares, you know, and this is a perfect time Zach Collares can come back and help this team back. And because honestly, if the Drew Brown was playing this game, I would have picked Ottawa to win this game. Honestly, but I just think Zach Collares is he's the spark plug of that car. And I know it's a very old car, and I don't know if you ever drove a 200,000-mile Oldsmobile. You know, it go great in the winter, it go great in the summer, but once it rained, it stopped and putter. You know, but I think Winnipeg is going to win this game. It's going to be a lot closer than people think, but I think they're going to rely on Brady Oliveira. Like, just feed Oliveira the ball, because Oliveira is the best running back in the game.
Right.
Just feed him. Just don't worry about the 3-down situation. Just feed him the ball. He'll guarantee 6 or 7 yards instantaneously. They need to find their guys. They need to find Pokey Wilson. They need to find Nick Dempsey. They need to Big Play Willie need to come out and just terrorize Meyer, or now McLeod Bethel maybe. I don't know who's going to be the quarterback, but Ottawa, there's ways you can win this game. Winnipeg are 1-4 in the home game.
I was going to mention that. Yeah.
They're 1-4. I don't know. Maybe it's bad water in Princess Auto Stadium. But the fact is, Ottawa, you need to find a way to play a complete game. All right, I seen y'all had good defense. I seen y'all had good offense. I seen y'all had good thing, and I just think the problem is the running game you have is not that good.
Right.
The problem is inconsistent quarterback play. The problem is the defense, bad coaching, bad schemes. But the fact is, if you put it together, chances is you'll be there at the end, But honestly, that weekend ain't gonna be that happen. I'm gonna go Winnipeg.
Okay. Let me ask you this before I make my pick on it. Do you remember if Oliveira played the last time they played Ottawa when they went into the double overtime and all that?
Yeah,
okay.
He played.
All right.
I think they shut him down a lot, but I just seem like I don't know if you watch Winnipeg games a lot, but at the Winnipeg, they'll start pretty hot with Oliveira, and for some reason they get away from it, but...
Yeah. Seems like they do cool off later in the game. Yeah, I know. That's...
Yeah.
Well, I felt more confident about my pick before you told me about Oliveira. I think that helps Winnipeg a lot. But like you said, they have a 1-4 record at home. Last time they played Ottawa, they had to go into double overtime, and they had to go into shootouts. And if they wasn't decided in the shootouts, I think they would have done rock, paper, scissors. I mean, that game, Ottawa should have beaten them then. I don't know how Winnipeg has the record they do, because it seems like they're two different teams, and it seems like you were talking about Toronto being road warriors. I think Winnipeg's more road warriors, at least, than they are home dogs anyway, so it's like...
Yeah.
There's every logical reason not to pick who I'm going to pick, but Red Blacks, I'm going with you. I think you're going to get your first win. It reminds me of, I know you watch wrestling. I don't know if I'm about a little over a decade older than you, but I don't know if you remember this or not. I remember one of Roddy Piper's first Piper's Pit. He had this wrestler named, I think it was Brad Williams or something like that. It was this guy. It looked like they got him from like the deli counter from Giant Eagle and put him in wrestling tights. He looked like he was out of shape and everything. And he's like, first of all, where are you from? I'm from Columbus, Ohio. And then Roddy Piper started making fun of him, saying, you should give up wrestling, make pizzas, and all this other kind of stuff. And then I saw, like, an interview Roddy Piper did about that clip. He was, like, saying, and I was saying all this stuff, and Frankie was legitimately getting hot. He was getting mad. And the cameraman was telling me, okay, go off the air, but Frankie didn't get the message. It was like, here comes Frankie. He's going to get his first win. And I think they were setting it up where he would actually get his first win, like a Barry Horowitz kind of thing. I think that's what Ottawa's going to be. He's going to be Frankie Williams beating up on Winnipeg in a Roddy Piper kill. So, I'm picking Ottawa this week.
I actually understand your logic on that, because all weekend I was going back and forth about this game. I was like, they're 1-4 at home, and it's quite crazy, but I just think Winnipeg need to win this game to keep ahead. And you know what? What's going to be pissing me off? Like, they ain't going to have a chance to win the West.
Right.
Like, if they win this game, like, come on. But the Blue Bombers fans, I think this is going to be a good game. I think it'll be a lot closer than people think. That's what I think, so.
Mm. And this will probably be the only week in the season that I'll probably pick them unless things drastically change for Ottawa. But this week I'm with you guys. So
I feel like there's a couple games down the road I'm going to pick Ottawa, but I don't know. But I'm going Winnipeg. It's going to be a good one.
Right.
But the next game Islanders. This is going to be a fun week, fun Saturday games. So basically stay home and watch these games, and this is going to be dope. The first game is Toronto versus Edmonton, 3 o'clock on TSN and CTV and Crave Network. It's kind of like their HBO up in Canada, and CFL Plus in the States.
Nice.
What I say about this game, Toronto, you need to, if you're going to win this game, you know, like I say every week, do not turn over the ball, okay? Play good defense, shut down Rankin, let Cody Fajardo win the game, and you can find a way to win this game. Edmonton side, you got to find a way to. I know Rankin had a little better performance last week than other previous week, but honestly, Rankin need to find a way to get his mojo back once again. Fajardo need to find his guys again. Often the Mac and Fajardo use it. And Toronto, say what you want about it. They're on a high. They got a good momentum, but their defense is not that good, you know. And Edmonton need to light up the Argonauts. And I'm telling you right now, Edmonton fans, it's 3 o'clock. I don't know if it'll be hot or cold. Doesn't matter. Go. They got good deals in the Commonwealth. Please sell out this damn stadium for once. You did 31,000 last game. Congratulations. Let's see 40,000 this week. Just get your ass in the game. Argo fans will be there. They'll travel, but go in there. I'm taking Edmonton to win this game to get back on the horse. So,
oh man. Okay. Well, I was going to say with the turnout, I think a lot of that too, no slight to the Edmonton fans, I think Saskatchewan brought a lot of people there too. So I think that helps with that game. But
they're like Steelers, you know, they travel.
Well, again, Toronto, I'm doing this out of love, okay? Tough love, maybe. But honestly, I think even if it weren't my stance of picking against Toronto so they'll win, I think Edmonton, will have a bounce-back game anyway. And, you know, and Toronto, I'm curious about their defense, too. It seems like they have improved. But they still, I mean, last week, even when they beat Calgary, they still let up, 30 points. That's, I'm not calling them the Creighton Blue Steel Curtain yet, okay? So, I'm going to go with Edmonton as well, so.
And they also improve on their kicking game. Their kicking game is, they got rid of Hallelujah, and they got this guy, I forgot his name, I'm trying to find it, but he did all right. He was 4 for 4 for kicks. So, it's good pickup, this guy you got here. But I feel like Edmonton is a more desperate team to get the victory this week because the West is getting tight. And if they lose, like say for example, if they lose and Winnipeg wins, Edmonton is in third place.
Right.
Winnipeg is in second place. So you have to, if there's the playoffs, you have to go at Edmonton, or you might have to go to East. So.
Well, there's also urgency with Toronto too, and for the same reason, because the West is getting bottled up. You may have a Western team carry over into the East. If Toronto loses, I mean, it could be Edmonton or Saskatchewan. Well, Saskatchewan will be in first place. Or be Edmonton or BC or maybe even Winnipeg. One of these teams sneaking in there.
So, like I say, honestly, we ain't going to talk about Montreal because Montreal, I think they already won the East.
Yeah.
Personally, I just think it's all about this. It's all about Hamilton and Toronto trying to get that home field wild card game. So, who knows?
The only thing I'm worried about with Montreal is if Alexander gets hurt. Because last year they showed they were two different teams when they didn't have him there. If they can keep him healthy, they're going to roll through, But
I also worry about if they, what can I say, and this is like say they win, they clinch it a little earlier, they'll rest all their guys, and then once they get to the East Finals, they just extra cold because they got a bye week and they didn't play these guys within a month. That's the worry of that. That's what happened to Hamilton last year because they clinched the East. They clinched the East like 3 weeks before the season ends. So they was resting guys, and plus they got a week off of rest, and they look cold.
Right.
They look cold in the first half of that Montreal East final game. Mm-hmm. And Montreal got the momentum because they played a week before, and they did everything possible to win that game against Winnipeg. So this.
Yeah. And Montreal, they were a classic team of a team getting hot like late in the season, just right in time for the playoffs. So yeah.
Yeah. Have you noticed a couple of years, whoever win the East Finals, East Division, always lose the East Finals?
Seems that way, doesn't it?
Yeah. It's like the 1 year Montreal had it, and Toronto went up there. They beat them, vice versa. You know, and I remember 1 year Toronto Hamilton. And Toronto had that game there, and Hamilton beat them. It's like, yeah, but the West is different because the West, you got Winnipeg and Saskatchewan. They just lick the chops when BC Lions coming down. But the fact is, that's how I feel like that's might be the scarlet letter right there, winning the East Division. You know,
makes you wonder too what's going to happen with next year's playoffs when you have the front runner. They had that round robin tournament thing where the loser isn't eliminated, but it's a game for seeding, not really a playoff game in my opinion. But
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And then we got the last game. It's going to be on 7 o'clock TSN and CBS Sports, TSN in Canada, and CBS Sports Network in the United States. It's the Saskatchewan Roughriders versus my Hamilton Tiger Cats, Oski Wee Wee. Mm-hmm. So, how I'm gonna say this game? This game is Saskatchewan is in first place in the West, but then again they have a lot of people that's injured, and this is gonna be a very tough game. But guess what? All the little rider melon heads will be up here at Hamilton. Hamilton, this is a must-win game. This is really a must-win game for Hamilton. My advice for Hamilton is, Milanovic, you need to find a way to get the ball to give Frosty the drone man to get the ball to Lawler, get the ball to Keandre Smith. You pay these guys good money not to have great reception at 39 yards. Let them find a rhythm to them, because it seems like his offense have no rhythm. But Frosty looked good, and I'm going with Hamilton in this because I think this is going to be a tough game for Saskatchewan. And say what you want, they look good in the second half, but they didn't really look good against Ottawa.
No.
But I'm going to go with Hamilton because they're at home. They're at the Horton. People are going to go nuts. People are going to go crowd. They're going to go crazy. Harrison Frosty the Snowman, going to do his thing against the Rough Riders. It's going to be a hell of a game. I think it'll be a very low-scoring game. I think it'll be more like a 24 to 18 kind of game. But I got Hamilton winning this game.
Interesting. Well, Frosty does look good, and for selfish reasons, because I'm going to see them next month, I want Hamilton to be competitive in this division and actually be able to put up a fight against Montreal when they play them. So I'm rooting for Hamilton. However, pick-wise, I'm going to go with the Rough Riders. And pretty much, there's one name for that it really impressed me last week. Tommy Stevens. If they get that guy on the goal, dude, they're going to, Hamilton has a good defense. They might be able to stop him, but he's been tough against, I don't know, especially the last couple weeks they played the same damn team. But I mean, he looks good. I like what I see there, and I think Saskatchewan, just to keep up with all the Joneses in the Western Division and stay on top, I think this is a must game for them. It's a must game for both teams, really, but I think for different reasons. So I'm going to go with the Rough Riders on that one.
Yeah, and also I think about getting, I know I got a little bit too many Rough Rider jerseys, but Tommy Stevens jersey might be a get, on my list. I just throwing it out there on that. Tommy Stevens will break Bill Steele touchdown record, and I guarantee you that.
I think what we have here is Christmas in Hamilton, because you got Frosty the Throwman throwing some balls, and and Bill's making a Christmas list of brandy. So.
Yeah, and I feel like Big Tommy Stevens is an abominable snowman. So
yeah, really.
Yeah, so it's
he's like Bumble, He'll try to eat Rudolph, but.
Yeah. It's gonna be a hell of a game. I think it'll be awesome, man. I don't know. Maybe Hamilton needs something like some battle cry. This is just me being a fan. I'm not being a homer here, but maybe Bo Levi can come in and rally the troops. That might be dope, but that's all wishful thinking.
Well, they're black and gold. Do they do like the terrible towel thing up there, or I don't know?
Yeah, they got a blackout towel. That's why one of my buddies, Ken Reed, got me a blackout towel.
Oh, nice.
So it's pretty sweet.
If they don't do it already, they should do with what the Steelers did with Renegade. Maybe do like Scorpions blackout with that. That would. If they do that at that game.
Yeah, that's good PR right there. They can totally do that. Next week is our lovely rivalry game. So that's gonna be a fun ordeal.
Oh, okay. All right, definitely look forward to that for sure.
Next week we'll go to Toronto. That'll be fun. That'll be a fun gathering.
Yeah, battle of the theme songs again. All right. Oh.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, well, we got all the picks in, and I guess we can wrap things up. Only thing I want to mention is, folks, thank you for submitting questions to the Facebook group and to the channel. Some of the questions are kind of like repeats. I will thank you, Matthew John, I think his name was. He asked a question about what we think about the rules with the goalposts. I sent him a link to our second ever episode where we went into that and our feelings about a lot of the new rules and stuff. And we covered that a little bit last week too, Bill. But long story short, with the goalposts, I think it's going to hurt everything, because one of the most exciting plays in the CFL is when you have the missed field goals and you have the ability to return the ball after that. And if you miss a field goal next year, it's going to go out of the end zone, and you're not going to they don't have the rouge, and you're not going to have anybody be able to return it. Because only people will be back there will be like photographers and cheerleaders. So
Yeah. And basically, just you just hope the field goal goes short so you actually get the ball in, and hopefully you can tackle the guy. And if I was a defender, if I was the guy, I wouldn't even touch the ball. It would go right in the end zone, because there ain't gonna be no roots.
Right. Yeah. And that's a good point. The end zones, while they are being shortened, they will be deeper than NFL and NCAA or UFL, any United States football leagues, So that could happen. You could still have the 1-point safety rouge, they have now. So.
Yeah, and also we got some shout outs from people, because we told them if you shout out where you're from, and we'll give you a name and shout out whatnot. We also got my man Ross Hopkins, that's your guy. He's talking about you work for the Canadian Press. Let's give him a shout for that.
Oh yeah, definitely. Thank you. That's one thing I'm grateful for our listeners and our Facebook members too. I learned some stuff. So yeah, I got to meet this guy, man. So
yeah, definitely. And who else we have here? Oops, I lost my thing. I'll give a shout out to Mario Rousseau. He's from Montreal. He said we are doing a great job, and well, thank you, Mario. And we proud to show you that. We got my man Rob. I'm sorry, I don't want to butcher your name. Is Howarth or Howarth? Sorry about that, but he's from Winnipeg, and he said he loved this page, Phil. And I was like, thank you.
All right, cool.
All right, and we also got.
This is our show too.
We also got Joe Brunnens. He's from Vancouver Island, Canada. He said, I enjoy this page a great deal, and thank you. And I'm going to say thank you, Joe. And we'll give you most love from people from Pittsburgh and Baltimore.
Nice.
And Dan Orlando said, what time is the podcast and where can fans watch and listen? So I'll let you get that.
Good question. It's not as uniform as I would like because unfortunately we're not TSN. We're two guys, taking our lunch pails to our regular jobs. Generally, what I like to do though is I try to do it on Thursday evenings, and I try to space it where it'll be before the first game. Usually a lot of the weeks begin on Thursday night. If it's a Friday night game, sometimes I'll post them on Friday. But to answer your question, just like, subscribe, follow us on the Facebook page. I will post a link as soon as they're done, but usually I try to do it maybe like 2 hours before the first Thursday night game, first game of the week.
Yeah, and also we work too. Like, we usually do just record either like Monday or Tuesdays, sometimes Wednesday. Plus we got like other obligations and stuff like that. Like you got your own stuff. I got my stuff. Like even I got do stuff for the Facebook page and obviously work and my 5 cats. And, and it's pretty much that. So when you hear this, it's probably going to come out like around Thursday or stuff like that before the game starts. But we usually take this around Monday and Tuesday. That's why every Monday or Tuesday I say, hey, we're doing this. We're recording tonight. Make sure you ask us a question or a shout out, and we do it like that. So.
Yeah, and unfortunately I don't have access to a soundproof studio yet. But usually I record this in the living room, and in fact today's recording we had to delay a half hour because there was a thunderstorm going on. And it's funny, little inside baseball, usually when I get off of work I take a slight nap before we record. Well, I was wakened by my phone by the emergency alert, tornado watch till 4:45. I was like, oh boy, yeah. So I'm thinking I'm gonna have to crawl like my bathtub and put a bed mattress around me, and the woods are, my whole house will collapse. But luckily nothing happened with that. But
yeah, so that's the thing is we're very scared of tornadoes in the Hall House. So we got like all the kitty bags. Sometimes, like, stuff like this, when it get dark, we have all the kitty bags, and we got a tornado bag, and we put it in the bathroom, so we can, just in case, to grab all the kittens, we can put them in the harness and all that stuff. That could be a fun feat with 5 of them, but I hope there's no tornadoes in Pittsburgh.
Exercising cat herding, for sure, literally.
Yeah, definitely, Oh yeah. Oh, I forgot to tell y'all. If there's a chance online, if you go to the BC Lions website, there's a chance you might can get free tickets.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yes.
Well, so they're doing a thing that I think they're trying to fill up the seats. They're doing the old WCW route. If you sign up, you pick a game, which one you want. If you've never been to the stadium, they'll give you 2 free complimentary tickets to the game. it'd be like a draw-in or something like that, or they just might give you the tickets. So you never know. You might get a free experience to the BC Lions. Whenever the post up, we might give you a link to this place, link to the BC Lions sign. So you can go to the thing of that.
I wish they were a lot closer. If I lived in Seattle, I would definitely take advantage of that, man.
So I sign up for that. Brandy signed up for that. Who knows if we do get it? If we do get it, I'm really considering making a trip up there in Vancouver, but it might be a solo trip, or me and my buddy from North Carolina trip. It's only like $300 to get to Vancouver from Pittsburgh. That's not bad.
Oh wow, that's sweet. Okay. Yeah. $5 in the cursor. That's a cheap flight. I don't know. I might entertain that. Pittsburgh isn't that far, you know. For a flight that cheap, that's pretty good. That's the only thing that I was worried about, but.
Yeah, and that's a round trip. That's like $362 or something. But
that
anyway,
is cheap. Yes.
If that be the case of that, maybe I might ask Joe Brennan and we can all crash in his house so we can go to the game. You know, they'll save some costs. So that's the thing is. So I put my name in the hat. Maybe I'll sweet talk my wife and say, hey, I want to go away for a night or two. You know,
right. Well, she might want to go. Actually, even if they weren't giving away tickets. Vancouver looks beautiful on TV. I've heard it's a nice city, and I don't know. They look like and the stuff that they do outside before the game and all. I think it would be a good time up there.
Yeah, it's a good time, and it seems like it's like good vibes to the fans out there. I just kind of wish more fans go inside the stadium. I love every time they play Saskatchewan. They have a Smash the Melon contest.
I saw that ad in the BC game. That's hilarious.
Yeah, and it's funny. Even Rough Rider fans got into the Smash the Melon.
That's fun. Like, maybe they should get like Gallagher up there or something. That'd be funny.
Oh yeah, ready to smash some fruits. Yeah, and then basically that. What else we got here? Make sure down the road I'm gonna try to do when we do the podcast. I might do it at my buddy's bar, Jacob. You know, Jacob is gonna be once again official. We working on the deal. He's giving me some human money for this place, for this podcast. So basically, the money, we're going to put that in our little safe, so just in case we might go up to Canada, me and Rick.
All right.
That could be part of our fun, and we represent whoever it is. So that'd be good. That's a little stuff I'm going to try to do. So my week is planned tomorrow. I'm going to try to sweet talk Dave and Buster's to do a Grey Cup party, so that's gonna be the midst of that. I'm gonna talk to the event planner tomorrow around 5 o'clock tomorrow, and we'll see from there. If they can't do it because the Steelers play a Sunday night game that night against Cincinnati, I'm gonna go to option B. Maybe ask Bill Burke to open the bar up for us to watch the Grey Cup party. So because it's closed. Jacob is closed on Sundays, but he said he can open it up for us if it happens. So basically, I might use some fire sticks to get it on the TSN feed and all that whatnots. And
actually, I have another idea how to do with that. I'll talk to you about that off of the air because that might give people some false hope if I mention it on here, but.
And that's the thing. It'll be pretty fun, and we got a lot of good plans for that this week. We're trying to get T-shirts for this podcast, so I'm in the meetings of that. So first, we're going to get the first crack at the T-shirt, me and Rick and Brandy and Kim, but everyone, if everyone like it, we're going to try to do everything possible to get y'all a T-shirt here and there. So
yeah. I think we've been bouncing around some ideas for some merch. If we can get it going, that would be great. That would be what's up.
Yeah. So and we haven't never met yet, but we are planning to meet soon. If they ever have we already confirmed that we're gonna do the draft, NFL draft together in DC. So we're gonna wear our CFL stuff, and then maybe we might do a podcast or question to people about CFL.
Right? Yeah, that would be cool.
Yeah, so we're gonna try to do that. So there's a lot of good things gonna happen for us, and we got 32 subscribers. I feel like there'll be more people gonna subscribe, and just say thank you for subscribing for us, and hopefully my goal is 50 by the season end, and I feel like we're on pace on it. So
yeah. That'd be nice if we can get that. I don't know. I've been on the YouTube side before, and I've seen what other channels can do. I'm appreciative to everyone who does listen and who subscribes and all. We got a long way to go. And your Facebook group, I'm impressed with that. One of the reasons I wanted to do this because I figured we get like a built-in audience that'll carry over, and some of that has. So I'd like to see more of that. But what's weird though, the Facebook group, it seems, I don't know, you might know the analytics better than me on this. From my observation, it seems like we get more American fans on the Facebook group, but more Canadian fans on the YouTube. So it's weird how that works, but
that's crazy, and it's funny that all the Canadian people I talk to who's on the Facebook, it's surprisingly so many Americans liking this, and it's crazy. Like they show pictures, and shout out people doing it. They show pictures watching the games at home, or watching the game at the bar. There's some Americans that's going to the games up in Canada. It's like crazy. Like this is like 8,400 people, and then we got 32 more people subscribing. This is fantastic, and it's a long way to go, but it's a good start.
Sweet. All right. Well, folks, again, thank you so much. Like, share, subscribe, pass the word on here and on Facebook. Thank you for letting us talk Canadian football with you again. We'll talk to you next week.
All right, bye, guys.